he putteth down one and setteth up another.
Yeah, because I'm going to agree with you with one thing. Now, the first people that ruled, that had the first civilization, were the Ethiopians today. They were the first ones. No, they were.
Because if you're talking about the Ethiopians that were referred to in the ancient world, that was different to the Ethiopians that there are today.
No, but what I'm saying is
Ethiopians, a person with dark skin and sun-kissed skin.
Right.
In the Bible, prior to 1930, these people were referred to as Ethiopians.
Cushites.
To the Cushites.
Kuwash. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay, no, Cushites.
No, I'm now the thing about it is that you're right. You're absolutely right. Because Ethiopia means burnt face.
Yeah.
That's what it means. Yeah. So that's a false statement itself. But the thing about it is,
but I mean, it's you know what I'm saying.
You gotta let me finish. Now, what I'm saying is I don't disagree. The Hamites were the first race of people to establish a civilization. So-called. Yeah, read that.
Genesis 10, verse 6, and the sons of Ham, Cush and Mizraim, and Put and Canaan.
Those are the other dark races of people. And it says Cush, which is the Ethiopian people going.
Mizraim. This is going down to verse 13.
I tell you what, brother, you come over here, but I can't see.
And Mizraim begat Ludim, and Anamim, and Lehabim, and Naphtuhim.
Yeah, so these are the different genealogies of the sons of Ham, pretty much, which came throughout their father's line.
And Pathrusim, and Kusluhim, and out of whom came Philistine, and Caphtorim, which is Philistine, the Egyptian, Sudanese.
So let me ask you this question. So that's the Bible.
But I want to get to the point. The point is that about Nimrod. I'm gonna let you come in. I just want to just get to the point.
I've heard about Nimrod as well.
For verse 8, and Cush begat Nimrod.
Right.
He began to be a mighty one in the earth, and he was a mighty hunter before Yahweh. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before Yahweh.
Right.
And the beginning of his kingdom.
Was
Babel.
So he was the first guy to set up the kingdom of Babel, which you can read in Genesis 11, so to speak. So it's not that we're taking away from these people, but it don't really make a difference whether they're the ancient people of old. What really matters is that throughout all of the other races, what people did the Lord choose? That's what you want to be a part of. You don't want to be a part of the ancient race. You want to be a part of a race that the Most High has chosen.
So I want to ask you a question.
All right, go on. Just hold yourself. Go on.
They say Babel and and Oek and Akkad and Calneh in the land of Shinar.
Right.
Out of the land went forth Ashur and builded Nineveh and the city Rehoboth and
and the like. So all of these other nations, they built certain cities around those towns. Like that's where you have the term Earth of the Chaldean, because everything started in the Middle East. That's where everything began.
Middle East?
In the Middle East, everything started from the Middle East.
Did you say that?
The reason why I say that, matter of fact, brother, get me Ephesians 4, because it says about the mother of his home.
Galatians.
You know I'm going. No, take your time.
Galatians chapter 4, verse 26.
Galatians chapter 4.
But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
Right, which is the mother of us all. So Jerusalem is the motherland. That's why in Genesis it speaks about how there was a place eastward in Eden. Why was it a place eastward in Eden? Because the word Eden is referring to the whole entire earth, which the word Idun means paradise, from the word Eden. So in eastward in Eden, that's where everything started from. Okay? The fertile crescent.
Based on the map, they don't got a map in.
We need to get a map.
Because my battery's dead right now. But based on the map of Africa, if you look at, for example, where Jerusalem is today.
Oh yeah, it's right there. It's close. It's close.
Right there.
It's close.
So who's the one that tore out these barriers of what African country is what?
Well, really,
when they sat down the conference of Nicaea? No,
Yeah, the Council of
Council
Nicaea.
of Nicaea. I'm not sure. It might be a different date. When they sat down, for example, the European powers sat down and tried in Africa.
What time you referring to?
So I'm referring to, for example, around the 1920s, 1930s.
Oh.
So I'm talking about recent history. So I'm talking about when they did that. So, for example, what is considered Jerusalem today? What is considered is right next to what is commonly or now known as Africa.
Well,
so when you say that those same people, for example, to be honest, I don't understand where you guys are. What do you understand? What do you believe, for example, like who do you believe were the first people? Like who do you feel like the Hebrew people are? Like, who these people in contrast to, for example, the people of Ham? Who do you feel like? What kind of difference do you feel like there is?
Okay, we'll deal with that. Simple. I'll tell you what, brother. Give me if you give me a scripture, and then also if you got the dictionary.
It's right there.
Go to Psalms.
That's a good question. There you go.
Oh my God, what's going on, man?
This is Psalms 105, verse 23. Israel also came into Egypt.
Right. Yeah.
And Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham.
Yes, and so it says Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham. And that was going on even back then as well in the ancient world.
Yeah, of course.
But even still to this very day, because you got Israelites, Jerusalem, you got Jews like ourselves, the real Jews, which are naturally melanated people. They live in Africa today. Okay, but how did they get to Africa? They got there because from Roman persecution. The whites, what they did was they took down the land of Jerusalem. It's in this book here. And we fled into the interiors of Africa because he was dark skinned like us. So we ran to hide amongst them from the persecution. And the ones of our people, like for example, like the Nigerians, the Ghanaians, the people of Senegal, West African region, those people originally come from Jerusalem, okay? But because we're melanated people, that doesn't mean that we're all the same people. Okay, there's a difference because in the beginning of time, everybody was dark skinned. You got a precept, right? Okay, from the beginning of time, everybody was dark skinned, but amongst the dark races of people, there were differences. Okay, even in culture and still to this very day.
And of course, around that time we saw.
Why is the world ending?
Prior to. Of course, at that time prior to
Well, yeah, you're right. Because during the time of Adam, the Adamites, there was no such thing as white people.
What I'm trying to say is, like, we had our own civilization that was like separate to them. And what I'm trying to say is, of course, as people, as humans, there's strife and there's like wars and there's different kinds of disagreements that nations with different.
And I'm gonna explain why.
So like that's natural.
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't know because I'm trying to understand. Like I'm not sure if I got it, but it's like.
Well, really, you know what? Let me explain it to you because I don't think I'm explaining it to you correctly. Okay, you got something. Yeah, go on.
Exodus 11 verse 7, but against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue.
Right.
Against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
Yeah, because the Hamites and the Israelites, they kind of look the same because they're melanated people. But the Lord put up a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. Okay, and that's why there's another scripture where it speaks about how the Israelites are likened unto the Ethiopians. Why? Because the Ethiopian people, when you look at them, they're different shades of brown. Just like
you talking about the modern day Ethiopians, or you talking about the
Cushites? I'm going to just say the Cushites. We look like the Cushites because of our melanated skin. But there's a difference. The difference is that, let me keep this right here.
He thinks he's a Cushite.
Oh, you don't think I'm a Cushite?
From Israel.
Yeah, well, I mean, really, he could be an Israelite out of the sons of Mizraim.
He's trying to say that his people, that they're Cushites. That's what he means.
Are they?
The Cushites are if you go to the Ethiopia, they will tell you that they're the Cushites.
They're not the Cushites.
Yeah, they are.
You're
They are.
the Egyptians. You're the real
Right,
Egyptians.
so if we're going to break down, for example, where, or the root of the word Ethiopian, or the Ethiopia as it's known as today, became called Ethiopia in the 1930s.
Right, I understand that.
So prior to the 1930s, it was called Abyssinia, which was a mixture between Ethiopia and Eritrea.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about, for example, the reference in the Bible, when they're talking about Ethiopia, that Ethiopia is a different kind of Ethiopia. Even using the word Ethiopia, that's a Greek term. That's a Greek term that came from, for example, whoever came over to Egypt and said, you know what, these people are dark skinned, we're going to call them Ethiopians. So even the term is like a man-made sort of Greek.
But that's understandable. But what you gotta understand is the people of Sudan, they're not Cushites, which that's what the Ethiopians called themselves back 4,000 years ago. No, 3,800, 500 years ago, something like that. They called themselves Cushites, and that was always their name. Okay, but check this out. But check this out. Now, the people of Ethiopia, the people of Sudan are not Cushites. They're what you call Mizraimites. The people of Mizraim or Martazarium. That was the people of ancient Egypt. So they're the actual Egyptians. The Sudanese people, they're the actual people that governed ancient Egypt 4,000 and a half years ago.
The thing is, for example, if you look at the relationship between ancient Egypt and if you look at the relationship between Britain and America, for example, America came from Britain. There was separation through obviously some sort of civil war. There was some sort of separation.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No, but can you see the relationship? How, for example,
I see what you're saying.
Let me just say this point.
So, go on.
So the Americans came from Britain.
Right.
So if we're looking at, for example, the ancient kingdom.
I know exactly where you're going.
You know where I'm going.
I know you're going.
So the ancient Egyptians and the studies that have been sort of come about, for example, about whether Kush, ancient Kush or ancient Nubia, these are the same sort of this is the same nation, whether it predates ancient Egypt or not. You know what I'm saying? So there's studies, for example, looking at, for example, the pyramids. There's a lot more pyramids in Kush, ancient Kush, or ancient Sudan as it is known as today. There's more than double the amount in Sudan that there are in Egypt.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that what I'm saying, bro, what I'm saying is this. I know what you're saying about the Europeans now. The thing with America, okay, which you all know, they all came out of Great Britain. Yeah. But what you have to understand, there's different dark races of people, and there's different lineages. They're not all the same people. They're not the same. Okay, like for example, what is it? Like I was saying to you before, the people of ancient Egypt, they had nothing to do with the Cushites. The Cushites was surrounded wherever they were at. Okay, but the thing with the Cushites and the Ethiopians and the Sudanese, they're totally different people. Now, I will say this. Now, they come from a man named Ham. Now, your brothers in that setup. Okay, your brothers, but there's a difference within. It's like, for example, you got the 12 tribes of Israel. You got a precept. You got to start bringing the precepts out.
I got something.
Okay.
About the difference between us and them.
Yeah.
Want to read it?
I tell you what, bro. Because he's talking about Ham and you know what I'm saying. So, but the thing about it is, I will say, let me turn this back around. So it's like this, right now. Amongst the 12 tribes of Israel, we're all the same people. We're all brothers and stuff like that. But guess what? There's a difference. Okay, there's a difference between the tribes and stuff like that.
Of course, there's obviously every tribe is different.
Yeah, they have their own differences, but it doesn't, so it's the same thing with your people, okay? Which I don't really think you're a Hamite anyway. I think you're probably one of us. But the thing with the Hamites now, you got different tribes of the sons of Ham. You got the tribes of Cush, okay, and then you got the sons of, Mizraim, which is those Sudanese people. And then you got the Philistines, no, not the Philistines, which are also Mizraimite. What is it?
Because you're another family of the Mizraim.
Because the only reason
Let me finish. Now, what I was saying is that basically, it's like these South Africans down here, you got the Watusi tribe. Even though your brother, even though those who may link up with your people, but if you notice, there's a difference. There's a cultural differences, but they have somewhat the same idea, because they come from a one genus. Yeah, read what you got, brother.
After that, I'm going to say your point as well.
Okay.
This is Genesis 46 and 31.
Yeah.
And Joseph said unto his brethren and unto his father's house, I will go up and show Pharaoh and say unto him, my brethren and my father's house,
My brethren and my father's house, go on,
which are in the land of Canaan, are come unto me, and the men of shepherds, For their trade had been to feed cattle,
Right.
and they have brought their flocks and their herds and all that they have, And it shall come to pass, and Pharaoh shall call you and shall say, "What is your occupation?" That ye shall say,
That's Genesis 40, right?
40, 46.
"Thy servants' trade have been about cattle from our youth, even until now, both we and also our fathers, that ye may dwell in the land of Goshen.
Yeah, Goshen, which is a part of Egypt. Go on.
For every shepherd is an abomination unto the Egyptian."
For every shepherd is an abomination to the Egyptians. Because the thing with the Israelites, they were the keeper of the sheep. They were always keeping the sheep. And the thing with Joseph made Egypt great because of the selling of corn. Okay, he brought the business side of Egypt pretty much. Okay. But yeah, the thing with your people, right, where you come from, they're the actual Egyptians. They're the Mizraimites.
I mean, the same way, for example.
They're not the same. They're not the same.
I feel like it's the same, man.
Well, I mean, in a sense, you're right. But the tribes are not the same. The tribes are not the same. It's different tribes.
Through time.
It's like, for example, check this out, bro. It's like, for example, the Latino people, okay, and so-called Negroes, even though they're the same, but they're different. If you look at a Latino person from South Central America, their culture is somewhat different from our culture. Okay, but in a somewhat of the same fashion, they do have a similar like culture, but we're different. So it's the same thing with the dark races like you're referring to. They have a they're the same because they come from the same father, but there's a differences. Like for example, let's say you got a child. Let's say you deal with a woman, right? You have like 5 kids or 10 kids, whatever. All of those 10 kids are not going to be identical. They're going to be different. They're going to meet different women, and their children will come out looking different. So it's the same thing with the other races of people. The reason why the other races of people have their cultural differences, but they have some of the same ideology. Because the thing with Ham dealt with different types of women, okay, which creates even more of a difference. And that's why if you look at the nation of Israel, all of the nation of Israel, they look the same to a certain level of degree, but they look different. Why? Because what is it, man? Right. You had Jacob, he had a couple of, because in the ancient world, men had multiple wives, so to speak. So the multiple, you got precept, right? Okay, go on.
Amos 9 verse 7.
Yeah.
Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians
That's the
unto
one right
me,
there. Yep.
O children of Israel?
Yeah.
Saith the Lord,
Yep.
have not I brought up Israel out of the land of Egypt,
Yep.
and the Philistines from Kaftor,
Yep.
and the Syrians from Ker?
Yeah, so he's liking the Israelites to Ethiopians because they're a dark melanated people. But that's not the point. Your point is that they're the same, but their ideologies are different. Okay, their
As time
cultures
goes
are
by, because if you look at, for example, the spectrum of like how many dynasties the ancient Egyptians had, how many dynasties the ancient Cushites had,
right.
of course, like ideologies are going to sort of drift. Because if we're looking at, for example, the time of how America has been as it is today, how long has it been since?
Well,
America became America in the last like 400 years.
Well, really,
It's modern America, for example, the ideology and all the other kind of stuff
Yeah.
within the last 400 years. Now, if you're looking at, for example, the ancient kingdom, this is within thousands of years. You understand? So within thousands of years, of course, different ideologies and different
they come up.
Of course. So, for example, give England and America a couple thousand years, there's going to be differences that you're going to see.
But it's going to be somewhat of the same ideology.
Of course. But some rooted in it. But let me just say this point. So based on, for example, when you're saying, for example, if you're looking at ancient Kush and ancient, you said that I wouldn't be considered a person from Kush.
Yeah, you're Mizraim.
So why is that?
Down south.
Yeah. What it is what the brother's saying is your people. Because I see where you're getting at because you're looking
My
at
people
the
have not
term
moved at all, and my people have the same structures, the same sort of documentation that's in the same country.
And who are the Egyptians?
That is there. You know what I'm saying?
That's the question. Who are the Egyptians? Because the thing about it is your people.
Of course, the ancient Egyptians have been.
But check this out.
Yeah,
check this out. What I'm saying is that the people of Sudan today, those people there, okay, those Hamites, those group of people, they were in ancient Egypt. The reason why they moved out of ancient Egypt is when you go into the history, I believe it was the Greeks. When the Greeks came into power, I believe it was the Ptolemaic dynasty, if I'm correct. The Ptolemaic dynasty, they came in around, what is it, the 4th century BC, they started their
I think
rulership.
it might have been earlier than that.
Yeah, it was earlier than that. It was probably, I think it was the 2nd century. Yeah, he's right. So, around the time of the Ptolemaic dynasty, which were the Greeks, what they did was they pushed you guys probably up north, I think.
South.
Yeah, down south. Because when you look at Egypt's north from Sudan. Sudan's down south, so they push you guys down south and all that. And there's some. But the reason why we've come to realize that you're people are the ancient Egyptians, because when you look at the
I believe that
icons.
there's ancient Egyptians that have come into.
No, but those are your people. That's what I'm saying. That's your people. And the reason why I say that, because we've done the research and we put the puzzles together, and even if they even look the same, they got the same sort of look, they got the same dark skin, and they still taught to this very day.
And I'm sure compared to.
And you know what it is? Because you probably one of us.
No, my dad is 6'7", my older brother's 6'8".
Yeah, but you guys should be like 8 foot, 9 foot tall.
So you're the short one in your family?
I'm the shortest one in my family.
Because you're probably one of us.
I met a guy from Sudan, and he said that his people are the Egyptians.
Beautiful country.
And he was kind of short, but he said he admitted that his people built the pyramids.
I'm the same as well. I met one guy, asked him.
I'm trying to say, like, for example, I'm relating it to the ancient, for example, England and America.
I understand.
The way that works.
You're not
Genetically,
Cushite, man.
the same people.
But you don't understand, bro. You're not a Cushite. If you was an actual, let's say for example, if you was an actual Sudanese.
Cushites are the Sunnis.
No, they're not.
they're not.
Ancient Cushites.
Ancient
Listen. The Cushites are the Ethiopians. I've had so many.
There's different names
Listen.
throughout the generations.
I've had so many Ethiopians tell me. I've been doing this for a long time. I didn't just decide to just sit up and have
I've looked at this
rare.
for a while as well. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So the thing about it is right, us being out here for years, I've had countless of Ethiopian people say to me, right, personally, that they're from the line of Kush. And they even say it better. They said, Kawash, which that's their real name, Kawash. I've never heard no Sudanese person tell me they're Kush.
Salaka. So I've met 2 Sudanese guys. One on my construction course.
But they don't understand their history. That's what I'm trying to say.
But he even know that he's an Egyptian. He told you, I'm the one that built the
It's not
pyramids.
about what they say, it's about what happened in history. It's about, for example, the way, for example, we understood history through our educational system. And us as Sudanese people don't know anything about...
The real Egyptians then?
The real Egyptians were...
What happened to them? Where are they today?
Alright, for example, look at Africa. Look at Africa as a whole. And if you look at, for example, North Africa, so Libya today, look at Algeria. Are they the same people? Do they look like us?
No, they don't. You know why? Because they moved.
Of course.
They moved around. People moved
Conquering.
around.
You understand? So if you look... One second, I'll come back.
It's alright.
And man, make sure you come back though.
Yeah, definitely come back. Come back though. Yeah. No, but the thing, he's level-headed. But that's what I'm saying. We gotta do, guys like that. We don't need to be fucking with these drunkards out here, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, what the guy was saying is, he's trying to equate his people with being Cushites. They're not Cushites. Now he's right in one he's right in one thing, because he said that the Hamites, he said that his people are the same as the other sons of Ham, which is true. That's true. Because they're all brothers. But at the same time, there's a difference. Okay, there's a difference. They're not all.
You should have read that from the dictionary.
What's that, bro?
You should have read that from the dictionary.
Yeah, hopefully he'll come back. He's
He's good intellectually.
Yeah, he's good.
He's not a simple-minded dick.
No, he's not. No.
He said his dad was 10 foot, man.
I was like, yeah, man, you might just be a Philistine.
He's tall, and he said he's the short one, and he's tall himself.
He said his brother was 20 foot. I was like, yeah, man, that's a good right there.
Well, we don't call ourselves Black Israelites, because the Israelites, are people of color. No, it's okay. It's on me.
Okay.
So where you from? Are you from South Africa? Okay, all right. But
You from England?
no, really, originally, I've been backwards and forwards from the States, But yeah, what we're teaching is that the people that went I'm talking about the Negroes that went on cargo slave ships. So you can understand what I'm saying. are the people of Israel. They're the real Jews that the Bible speaks about. And even the government knows about this stuff as well. You know, if you go into certain, if you go into certain secret, what's those places where they have those statues, museums? If you notice, they cut the noses up because really and the statues that I'm referring to is the biblical characters like King David, whom the world called Jesus Christ. They all cut the nose up. Why? Because the nose gives off what type of race they're coming from, so to speak. And there's even books on it too. There's books that cost about 10,000. The average person can't buy to see the truth. You see? You're going.
Romans chapter 11 verse 1.
Yeah.
I say then, have the Most High cast away his people.
Yeah, the Most High cast away
forbid.
his people. God forbid, go on.
For I also am an Israelite,
Yeah.
of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
The tribe of Benjamin. So the Most High has not cast away his people. Now the people of Benjamin are the so-called West Indians today. The reason why they call themselves West Indians because that's what their slave masters call them, based on the atmosphere. But even the word Indian, when you look up the word Indian or India, means savage, pretty much. So you're Western Hemisphere savage. That's what they're saying. But this is who you really are. It's the tribe of Benjamin. Okay.
Israelite.
You're Israel. You'll be an Israelite.
Seed of Abraham.
Yep. So where you from? You're West Indian, right?
No, I'm Ghanaian.
Or you're Ghanaian. Well, you look West Indian to me. But the Ghanaian, the people of Ghana, the people of Ghana, they're Israelites too. So the people of Ghana, you check out their tribes. Like, what tribe are you from? Are you from Ashanti? The word Ashanti. Yeah. So, this sees for 1 minute. Yeah, so the Ghanaian people, they circumcise their children on the 8th day. So where did they get that from? They got that from their ancestors, which were known as the Jews. The Abrahamic covenant. So that's where they got it from. And what else, man? What I wanted to talk about, the main thing I wanted to talk about is how come the Israelites went into Africa? Like, how come they went down there? The reason why they went down there, matter of fact, brother, if you can give me the book. This book explains it, where the Jews went to, why they went to Africa.
Do you believe that some of the Africans are part of the lost tribe?
Well, the ones that are part of the lost tribes of Israel are mainly, because I'm going to say this right now, Africa, they're made up of multiple continents. Yeah, and our people have been scattered abroad. So like this guy here, he could be one of us. And the reason why I can tell that is through the spirit. You know, because you got our people amongst the Africans. Okay, but the thing with the actual indigenous people of Africa today, they're of a totally different race rather than being an Israelite, so to speak. They look the same though. Yeah. Of course. Oh yeah. Of course. But we believe in him to be Yahweh, because he spoke ancient Hebrew.
What?
Yahweh. Right, Jesus Christ, so to speak. But you know, you remind me of an average African American woman. Well, so-called. The reason why because the African Americans, so-called, a lot of them came from Ghana and Nigeria and places like that. They just go back to the Jews, so to speak. They're going, bro. And then,
This is the book on Babylon the Timbuktu, page 84, second paragraph.
Yeah.
In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem.
They captured it, gone.
In 70 AD,
Yep.
General Vespasian, his son, Titus, put an end to the Jewish state.
Yeah, meaning they slaughtered them, and damn near, if possible, they could have wiped this out. Go on.
With great slaughter.
Yep.
During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people.
And the residue of the people were our people, because what was going on during that time around, the first century AD, what was going on around that time period is you had the Jews that was rising against the Roman government. So what their thing was is the way we kill these people is let's besiege them inside of their cities and prevent food from coming inside their city. So that's the only way you would conquer a nation or a people, is taking their goods away. And that's what was going on at the time of going.
During the period from Pompey to Julius,
Yeah.
it had been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa,
Yeah.
fleeing from Roman persecution
Right.
and
Yep.
slavery.